Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about how, I did make a video earlier, I want to say 2 weeks ago, about a week or 2 weeks ago, where the Arrowverse producer said that he kind of feels like, he wasted his time doing the Arrowverse because James Gunn left him out when James Gunn practically decided to reboot the DCEU. And now, Mark Cunningham, which is the producer of the Arrowverse, clarifies his DC universe statement. So let's give this a read. A little over a month ago, Arrow and DC Legends of Tomorrow co-creator Mark Cunningham took to his legal dispatch newsletter to express some frustration with the state of his career, saying that it sometimes felt like his years running Warner Bros. Television, he was a successful Arrowverse, had not helped him much on a career level. He used the example of James Gunn and Peter Safran recent reworking of DC, noting that after years of service, it would have been nice to get a call. Cunningham concluded by saying that he nevertheless was gratified by the years of support from Arrowverse fans. All of this was coached by a context of, here's the blog post I almost wrote, noting that he felt frustrated, but later realized he could turn that frustration into a discussion about the brutal nature of the TV industry. Anyway, a lot of his context was lost. Over the past week, numerous outlets has covered the comments, leaving out many of the qualifiers and emphasis that, quote, I really wasted my time. In today's installment of the newsletter, Cunningham starts out by clarifying those remarks. It's taken as an axiom that there is no such thing as a bad publicity, but the problem is that, with virtually no exceptions, the cover is focused on my statements that I really wasted my time with the Arrowverse, while conveniently leaving out the important modifier, at least on a career level. They also managed to leave out how I was explicit in being deeply grateful for all the fan engagement over the years. Oh well, never let the facts get in the way of good story or clickbait headlines, I guess. I only regret is that those give aid and comfort to the Arrowverse small contingent of trolls. As if Mr. Gunn cares a whit about their objections to character, romances, or deaths. Then again, such folks have always insisted on making themselves the subject of a narrative, and that's not likely to change anytime soon. So he means in a career level, that he feels like the Arrowverse was a waste of time. Which I think that seemed pretty obvious when I read it, that he probably meant in career wise. But people on the internet, to play devil's advocate for a second before continuing, people on the internet there are some people on the internet that does love taking actions or words out of context, because they get some level of high when they intentionally take what a person said or a specific action out of context, and then get mad when they get called out on it. So to play devil's advocate, I can give him that. So anyways, Cunningham co-created Arrow with Greg Berlanti, who runs Berlanti Production and is the one that the most prolific producer in television. There were rumors that Berlanti was considered briefly for the DC Studios job, although it is not clear whether Warner Bros. Discovery ever met with him. Arrow ran for 8 seasons and spawned a sprawling, interconnected universe that included The Flash, Black Lightning, Supergirl, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and Batwoman. Superman's lowest stars, Tyler Hoechlin and Bitsy Tulloch, first appeared as Clark Kent and Lois Lane during the reign of the Arrowverse, which will officially draw to a conclusion with the end of The Flash in May. Cunningham also served as a showrunner for Arrowverse crossover events, overseeing storylines like Invasion, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Elseworld, and Crisis on Infinite Earths. I feel like I said Crisis on Infinite Earths twice. Probably because I meant to say, okay, I see. Crisis on Earth X and Crisis on Infinite Earths, sorry. As they ran through the various shows. So I guess the only one he didn't do was the first crossover that the Arrowverse had, when it was just the Flash and Arrow. Because on the Flash, I forget the names. I think it was called Heroes Joins Forces, and I forget the other. But on the Flash's crossover, first crossover with Arrow, the Flash was there was a meta-human that, when you look at him, he induced rage, so it took Team Arrow and Team Flash to help the Flash out. And then, who else? On the Arrow's first crossover with the Flash, Team Flash and Team Arrow teamed up to stop Captain Boomerang. But, like I said before, to reiterate what I said before, I feel like to give Mark Cunningham the benefit of the doubt for a moment, that I'm not sexually on one hand, could he potentially word his statement better? Sure, he could. Sure, maybe. But at the same time, giving him the benefit of the doubt, there are some people who on the internet like to take what people said out of context or do out of context just for the high of it. I'm no stranger to it. If you're a content creator, the chance of you being a stranger to it is extremely low. Unless if you're brand spanking new to content creating, you probably gonna have by now. You probably had at least one person who took what he said or out of context. Hell, I even have someone. Because you guys know, for example, I like to just promote other people's channels on my streams. Because I believe as one rises, we all rise. One person apparently says sharing out links to other people's channel to help get them more subscribers as well. Be supportive is stalking. How is that stalking? In any way. How is that stalking? By sending out a link in whatever, in your streams to whoever's channel, saying, please go subscribe to this person. Any normal person would say that that's supportive, unless said person outright told you, hey, can you please not do that? If the person says that and you see doing it, it's harassment and you can say it's stalking, but you guys get my point. It's great. Unless if someone actually says, please don't share my channel link on your channel, you're being totally supportive, and there's nothing wrong with that. So that's one of the times where I can personally say that someone took what I said or did out of context. Which again, which is where I'm also kind of coming from. Like, people on the internet will claim that you said stuff or did stuff, like, based on what you said, pretty much taking what you said or did out of context. So, that's just me. Anyways, what do you beautiful people think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I will talk to you fellow mutants later.